Hi, my name is Arisbeth Oropesa, and this is my second period dialogue. Um, Today I had a conversation with my friend about the topics we saw in ethics class. The first topic was the harm of pornography. As we talked in class, Playboy is very important for this lecture of McKinnon because, first of all, Playboy said that the only purpose of their magazine was to let women be free and show their body just because they wanted to. But I think there was a purpose behind all of that, and that was to show the woman as an object. I don't think that's correct because, well, after Playboy started doing that, maybe society started to think about us women as objects. And I don't think that's correct because we're supposed to be ourselves and not be seen as material. Like, for example, um, when we go out, we like to dress maybe sometimes a little bit sexy, but it's because we want to. We don't want to do it for anybody. But sometimes it's hard to dress the way you want because society criticizes you and maybe a lot of men see you as a sexual object, and I don't think that's not cool because, well, that makes us afraid of do what we want and dress how we want because we like to avoid um, being criticized and seen as a sexual object. Virtue's disposition. Virtue is a mean, and the highest mean is phronesis. Phronesis is understood as prudence, the prudence we have to like tolerance. And he also makes that important point that only adults can be virtue. But why? Why teens and children can be? Well, that's because they don't have practical wisdom, which adults have. And after that, he talked about intellectual versus moral virtues. The moral virtues were not given by nature, but they were created by actions which were led by the character. Um, for example, a very good example of persons with moral virtue are teachers and some role models. Now, um, he mentioned in Book 7 that only individuals with true moral characters will have access to what is truly good. Choice is a deliberation. That's what he mentioned. And what he's trying to say with only individuals with true moral character will access to what is morally good is that you will have the capacity, if you're a moral person, to see the good in everything, to do the things like with a good intention. That's why I'm going to talk to you about vice, incontinence, and Britishness. Well, as we know, the opposite the opposite of vice is a virtue. The opposite of incontinence is continence, and the opposite of Britishness is the superhuman virtue. Here, let's make a line. From here, it's the bad, and here it's the good. So, what does eudaimonia has to do with this? The bad, let's place ourselves in the middle. And on this side, it's incontinence. And on this side, it's going to be continence. The continence has to do with the strength of will, which is good. But incontinence is the opposite, the weakness of our will. That's the difference. Well, in this case, eudaimonia it's more on the side of the good, on continence and temperance, which is in Spanish is templanza. Here, eudaimonia is more on the side of reason and desire. And in the bad side, it's incontinence, also known as acrasia, which is, as I mentioned, the weakness of the will, and intemperance, which is el libertinaje. Why eudaimonia is more on the good side? Well, as I told you, because of reason and desire. Now I'm going to talk to you about the three kinds of friendship defined by Aristotle. Aristotle said that there were in the book 8 Nicomachean Ethics, he said there are three types of friendship, which I'm going to define it to you. The first friendship was friendship based on utility. Well, this friendship is given when both people derive some benefit from each other. An example can be maybe if I'm friend of my classmate in math class. Maybe we don't like the same things and we don't talk too much about our lives, but let's see. In math class, maybe I know about derivatives and my friend knows about integrals. So maybe I'm not good at integrals and my friend is not good at derivatives. So this is where the friendship based on utility is given, because I'm going to be her friend or his friend, her friend, to benefit myself with the knowledge of with her knowledge about integrals, and so she is going to be also my friend to benefit herself with the knowledge I have about derivatives. The second friendship is based on pleasure. This is more of a casual friendship. Maybe we have some friends and we only like to be around them because we like their company, and that gives us certain pleasure because maybe they're funny and we talk very good. More like a friendship that it's not gonna last, but we are friends because, well, we like each other in some ways. The third friendship where are well is based on goodness. This is the real friendship. This is the friendship based on all the good, and it's not something that it's gonna end soon. It's a friendship between people who are good and virtue. Tendency of eat only vegetables and fruits, not meat or any derivative of animals like milk or eggs. Why it's not a virtue? Well, it's not a virtue because, well, human beings by nature eat meat since the caveman times. Why? Well, because maybe we need proteins and vitamins and not stuff like that. But I don't think it's correct that we eat meat because we are, well, harming another living being, another animal. And unconsciously, even though we don't kill the animal and eat it right away, we are, as I said, doing it unconsciously. Why? Because we're eating the meat. And that doesn't mean we are not aware of what was the process to get the meat. We know, well, we only buy the meat at the supermarket, but the animal we are eating was harmed and its dignity was not respected. I don't think that's fair because every living thing, doesn't matter how small it is, deserves respect. It deserves respect. And here's the question: why don't we eat our own pets? I mean, there's special bonds, like loving bonds, and that's why we respect our pets. But that doesn't, it's not fair because why respect them, our pets, if we cannot respect other animals like cows and pigs that we eat? That's why it's not a virtuous thing.